It's been one full week with the Samsung Galaxy S26. No more launch event excitement, no spec sheet hype, just real world use. And after using this for the past week, I have to be honest, this phone feels like an afterthought. That's what I thought when I went to Samsung Galaxy Unpacked, and that's what I still think. This is not a bad phone. It's a pretty good phone for many people. But when you take a look at its predecessor, this phone hasn't really changed too much. So I kind of want to break down my experience of using this phone, starting things off with the design. Nothing really changed here, as you can see. The S26 still uses the S series design with the floating camera lenses on the back, except now instead of being kind of on its own, it's sitting on an island right here. They're still kind of like floating on the island, but the phone is pretty slim, 7.2 millimeters, nothing too crazy. It's not like the Edge, but still very comfortable to hold and to use one-handed. Now this is the smaller Galaxy S26, not the Plus. I think that got even less updates. Now you also do get Gorilla Glass Victus 2, so I'm sure durability is going to be pretty good. I haven't dropped it or anything. I'm not doing any drop tests, so if you're looking for that, you're not going to get it on this channel. But here's the thing. If you put this next to the Galaxy S25, especially from the front, most people are not going to tell the difference, or even from the back, unless you start to really notice the colors and then just like the camera design. That's really it. And that's the theme with this phone. Samsung didn't really go through any radical design. They just slightly refined more what was inside of the phone than what was outside. However, with this display, we get a slightly larger 6.3-inch display rather than 6.2. It still has super slim bezels all around. Now, the screen is good. I mean, it gets bright, it's colorful, it's great for watching videos or scrolling through social media. But obviously, no 10-bit panel. Samsung originally had said there was, but there isn't. And that's, for those who are focused on that, then it's unfortunate for them. And some people have said they're going to return it, but I think for the average consumer, having an 8-bit display is perfectly fine. It's in real world use, you're not going to really notice a huge difference. Would it have been nice to get more updated tech? Yeah, it would, but if it's not there, well, we can't really do anything about it. The S26 is out on the market. It's, in our hands, so nothing we can do. But display, slightly larger, however, it's still really good, but it doesn't really get a major upgrade. No privacy display or anything like that. Now, when we get to the performance of this phone, you're getting the Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5 for Galaxy, 12 gigs of RAM, and I think that's going to be the standard, 12 gigs of RAM moving on. And the performance on this has been excellent. The animations are smooth, multitasking feels effortless. Samsung also improved with One UI 8.5, just feels more buttery smooth, and then you're getting 7 years of software updates. But again, when you compare this to last year's phone, no difference. I mean, I'm not running benchmark scores side by side with the S25 to see which one's faster, because obviously this one's going to be faster with the newest chipset. But in real world use, I'm not noticing any difference either. So it doesn't really make too much, it doesn't change how I use this phone or like wow me every single time I pick it up to use it. Now you do get things like Photo Assistant, Creative Studio, Audio Eraser, all that stuff. But I feel like many of those AI software features are going to slowly trickle down into like the S25 and S24 and other like A series devices at some point. Like Audio Eraser, yeah, it works with third-party apps like YouTube and Instagram, but I feel like it's going to trickle down and it shouldn't be a reason for you to upgrade to your phone regardless. If it's a software feature that's not exclusive to the latest phone, then yeah, I would probably wait. Now, other than that, everything has been great. I mean, everything you can expect in the software department. Apps run really great. It does get slightly warm to the touch. That's to be expected. I mean, it's not like the Ultra, so it's not going to have that vapor cooling chamber, especially with the new redesigned one in the Ultra that doesn't get warm at all. This is not going to have that. Now, moving on into the camera experience. This is where it's a little bit of a letdown because Samsung didn't change the camera hardware. I feel like we've been getting the same camera hardware since like what? The Galaxy S22? That's like 4 going on into 5 years. So if Samsung doesn't change this with the S27, it gets harder and harder to recommend this base model. Now, the results are good, they're decent, but they're not like, I don't know. I mean, if this main competitor for this S26 is the iPhone 17, here in the US especially, the iPhone 17 has better photos and videos. I'm telling you right off the bat. And if you guys want to see a comparison, let me know in the comments down below. But you're really not missing too much from not picking up this S26. This camera, yes, it has a main ultra wide and a telephoto, but it's not going to wow you in any way. I mean, if you pick up the Ultra, that's a different story, but this, it's just like fine tuning rather than a big upgrade. So if you've used the S25, 24, 23, and even 22, it's going to feel really similar. Again, it's not a reason to upgrade. The battery life and the battery department did get a small improvement. Finally, at least we're getting some improvements here. The S26 now has a 4,300 milliamp hour battery. It's 300 milliamp hours larger than the S25. And the battery life has definitely been a little bit better. Obviously, long term, how is this going to last? Not as great as something like the Ultra or phones with like 6,000, 7,000 milliamp hours. But what I've seen so far is I'm getting at least like 30 to 45 more minutes with the S26 versus its predecessor, so that's great. But charging speeds still remain the same. You're getting 25 watts of wired charging, and Samsung calls that super fast charging. So Samsung, first of all, that's not super fast charging, and second of all, what I've kind of learned is you either get a larger battery or you get faster charging. Samsung's not going to give both of them to you. With the Ultra, they gave faster charging but kept the same battery capacity. With this one, they gave a slightly larger battery and kept the same charging speeds. With the Plus, however, it's neither of that. It's just the same. So it's like, I don't know. It's not groundbreaking at all. So kind of just to wrap things up, the S26, the biggest takeaway is pretty simple. This phone is an afterthought. I mean, if you are in the market looking for like specific needs, like you want a compact phone that you don't want to break the bank because it's also $100 more expensive, which is now $900, it becomes so much more harder for me, at least, to recommend to those that are looking for a phone that's compact yet delivers a lot of great things that Samsung has to offer. I don't know. I'm just torn between this, Galaxy S26 and the upgrades that we didn't get with this phone. I really don't think the ever so slightly larger display, the slightly larger battery is going to make a difference. And then like the new AI tools, like software things, they shouldn't be of any reason to upgrade. This feels very similar to my, if not like the same as my Galaxy S25. Because first of all, like this design, like who's gonna pick it up just for this little design change? Probably nobody. And that's why I kind of feel like it was an afterthought. If you guys remember, early on in the S26, like rumor mill, this was going to become like a Pro, and then S26 Plus was going to be scrapped. There was something going on, and then at the very end, Samsung said, hey, you know what? Let's just keep the record. 26, 26 Plus, and the Ultra. So I don't know what happened, but yeah, this didn't really get the upgrades I would have liked to have seen. The S26 Ultra was the attention for, the Unpacked event this year. Don't get me wrong, this is a decent phone. But one, if you own the S25, it's not, really missing much. And two, it's just hard to justify $900 for this phone, unless you get a really great deal. But I hope you guys did enjoy this video. Nonetheless, I personally like this phone only because it's compact. Now imagine if this phone was like a Galaxy S26 Ultra Mini that had like the same specs of the Ultra, but just in a more compact form factor. That would have been a game changer. But anyway, that's just kind of what I want. If you guys did enjoy, definitely be sure to superman the like button, comment down below, and best of all, share this video because it really does help out the channel out a lot. It will help push my content out to more people. Definitely be sure to check out my latest wallpaper pack. It's called Aura Layers. It goes a long way in helping out the channel. Links will be down below. That's been it for me with the Galaxy S26 1 week later. Stay tuned. Lots more content on this phone is coming, and I'll catch you all in the next episode.